What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, one of the MMA guys. Today, let's do a little video about the biggest threat to each division. We'll see which contender is the best. We'll see which contender has the biggest chance against the current champion. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. 125, the champion, Pantoja. He's going to run through Joshua Van. That's what's going to happen. And then we also have Brendan Moreno, Kyoji Origuchi. Now, Brendan Moreno, he's lost to Pantoja. I don't think he's beaten Pantoja. Maybe he has one win. I don't even think he has one win. No, he actually did beat Pantoja once, I think. So that's a good thing. If Moreno goes out there and beats Tyra like pretty casually, I do believe he can like be a good threat to Pantoja. However, Pantoja is so dominant. I feel like I feel like he can go to 35 and fight Merab if Merab beats Jan. And as of Kyoji Origuchi, I mean the fight with Ulanbekov was crazy. I mean Tagir got folded like a pancake, thrown around like a wet towel, and just beat up to a pulp. This I mean, it was a next level fighter in the octagon that night. Kyoji Origuchi, if he shows up and fights that way, like he fights the way he just dominated, completely out grappled, outsmarted, outstriked, like it was a pure dominant win. There was nothing Ulanbekov could have done better. Kyoji was just so much better, and I feel like he's such a skilled flyweight. It's amazing. It's gonna be amazing to see him. I would give him the title shot because Pantoja, bro, he's just running through the division like crazy. Let's go over to 35. Bantamweight, Merab being the champion. Of course, Peter Yan, the deepest bag in MMA history, is facing him this weekend. We'll see what happens. I do believe Yan has a good chance because he was injured the other fight. However, if we're not, let's just assume Merab beats Peter Yan. I believe when Song Yadong beats O'Malley, I believe he goes on to beat Merab. I believe Yadong has one of the best chances against Merab out there. Have you ever seen Yadong's brick wall takedown defense? Yeah, but Peter Yan took him down. Yeah, but that's Peter Yan, dude. Like Song Yadong's takedown defense is gonna be so much. Like it's gonna be crazy when the Merab fight happens. And this guy, he's the trickiest matchup for Merab because unlike Yan, who guards up, right? Yadong doesn't shell up on his strikes. Yadong strikes very dynamically, a little bit just like Merab. Merab's striking is not that bad, guys. We cannot overlook it because when he gets in the pocket, he throws the 1-2, the 2-1, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 down the pipe. That's about it. He's not a threat on the feet, but he's still good. And Yadong's striking is amazing, so Yadong could cause a lot of problems to Merab in the early rounds, obviously. Let's go to featherweight. Movsar Evloev. Movsar would currently beat Alexander Volkanovski. I truly believe it because Volk is getting old, but Volk is still gonna beat Diego Lopez. I mean, Lopez is not the biggest threat at featherweight. It's been two times now that Diego Lopez gets a title shot before Movsar Evloev. This guy is 18 and 0. Oh yeah, but he doesn't finish people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's 18 and 0. He's beaten Allen. He's already beaten Diego Lopez. Yeah, it was his debut, but that's still on the resume. Movsar deserved that shot. Movsar's grappling is gonna be so much to handle for a 38 years old Volkanovski, guys. That was the fight to make, and of course the UFC, Dana and everyone, the whole organization. I don't know, they're tripping balls, just like usual. And honestly, Movsar deserves a shot, and Movsar would win, I believe, currently. I don't think Movsar would beat Prime Volkanovski, but right now he would show him so much trouble. Movsar can mix it up on the feet. He gets the takedown. The gas tank is crazy, and the strength this guy has. I don't know. We've seen it. I feel like Movsar is kind of like this Armin guy at 45. He's basically the same thing as Armin at 45. Maybe he's not as much of a threat as Armin in terms of finishing capability, but skills wise he's amazing. Let's go to lightweight. Armin Sarukian has the best chance to beat Ilya Topuria at lightweight. It's not a it's no surprise. It's not a nothing. Armin Sarukian is much, much better than the likes of Justin Gaethje, Patty Pimblett. You can name it. Armin is above all these guys at 55. The way he threw around Hooker, just took him down, submitted him casually, no problem. Just in complete control of the fight, basically. And yeah, Topuria is not that strong physically, or we haven't seen him. We haven't seen the strength, and I'm talking about more in the grappling because we've seen the fact that he can absolutely shatter the earth in half with a single punch. But what I'm talking about is more so grappling wise. I do not think Topuria uh, is on Armin's level. Genuinely, yeah, he took down Charles Oliveira. That's okay. Like it doesn't matter much. It's not like it's not a big feat or whatever. Like Armin is just so much stronger than Ilya probably when it comes to the grappling exchanges, and he's also like he can fence Max. He can fence. Can wrestle him on the fence and stuff. I think it's such a tricky matchup for Topuria. It's also a tricky matchup for Armin because he cannot get touched by that right hand because Armin's gonna go to sleep right away, just like anybody on the goddamn roster. But he is still the biggest threat. And clearly, Topuria has something against Armin. Uh, the fight has not been booked, and the fight will never be booked until Topuria is going to beat, Patty or Gaethje next, and then he's going to move up to 70, get beaten, and then come back down. But Armin's going to be champ at that point. So maybe we'll see the matchup in the later years, but I don't think it's soon. Welterweight, definitely Shafkat and Morales. If you had to ask me to pick, I would say Morales because of what he did to Brady. And we cannot forget the fact that Brady did just shot an ass takedown. I don't know what kind of attempt that was. It wasn't a good attempt at all, so I don't want to hear too much about this crazy win. It is a very good win. Stylistically, of course, Brady was also about 3 times less big than Morales. Morales looked like a fucking van out there. Well, Brady looked like a Miata, something like that. It's like too big of a difference. And then you have Shafkat. Shafkat is like there's not much aura anymore about this guy. He's like an Ian Gary level fighter. I just put him out there because people are Shafkat, man. Like Islam would beat both these guys up. I just had to put someone there. Islam is not um, unbeatable, but he low key is like unless Morales lands that shot early, in which like I've seen the sequence where he strikes like he has phenomenal power, but he's not a good striker. Like he doesn't pinpoint the strikes that good, and Islam is gonna time a takedown and just submit him, guys. That's mostly what's gonna happen. And same thing for Shafkat. I think Islam submits Shafkat pretty casually. Dars probably. Middleweight, light heavyweight. So for light heavyweight, we have Magomed Ankalaev being the biggest threat. Of course, I'm not gonna start saying things like Carlos Ulberg is such a threat, man. Like, guys, Carlos Ulberg is not a threat for Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira would absolutely eat Carlos Ulberg. I believe that the fair thing to do if Pereira wants to fight at light heavyweight still and not move up yet, it is the Magomed Ankalaev 3. We've seen that he was slightly, injured. I don't know. We don't know much. We haven't heard about it because the people are happy. Oh yeah, Alex Pereira was back to champ. But let's forget about Ankalaev. This guy's in the mountain training with Lucas, as we are speaking. So, we have to put some props on him. And Ankalaev deserves a third match. I'm not gonna lie, guys. He won 5 rounds against Pereira, and now he's just lost 1. And that's like, I mean, it's a tricky situation. Pereira did absolutely light him up, but it was like one shot. And it was like a weird match. It was a hype moment. It was a good moment for Pereira though. But we know how it is with Ankalaev. He needs a third match. He needs the biggest threat currently. Heavyweight, Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane is a great heavyweight high poker. We have to watch out for this guy. And genuinely, Cyril Gane is a phenomenal striker. I don't know if it was like deliberately, but I understand where Tom's coming from, like with the video footage and stuff, like where he did where he showed that Cyril Gane just extends his, like why is Cyril Gane extending his finger every single time Tom gets close, or Cyril needs to block a shot? Like it's a bit crazy. It's a bit like even if it's unintentional, it's absolutely insane to be fighting a guy like this. Like you can't. You have to stick your finger in, buddy, and do boxing. All right. So just cover up the gloves. Cover up the gloves a bit more, and then the wrestling will take a little bit of toll. You know, it's not gonna be as efficient. Maybe they could do that. So our striker get a little bit of breaks from the grapplers. But of course, Tom Aspinall doesn't need a break from strikers or grapplers. I put Cortez Acosta there. I'm just thinking about it right now. But Tom Aspinall will probably send Acosta flying across the cage like inside 20 seconds. And Cyril Gane is also going to get knocked down in the next fight. So, like, Tom Aspinall is probably, like, going to be the greatest heavyweight of all time. You know, people right now, they're not understanding, like, oh, yeah, nah, man, Cyril Gane was winning that fight. Listen, he had a bloody nose. Yeah, okay. Like, clearly no one's ever, like, if you look at a bloody nose and you're thinking, "Whoa, man, it's like he's beating him up like Betty." Like some people nosebleed from like a snap, bro. Like it's nothing. That's it for me. Thank you guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys.